Hi and welcome along to the Bias Premier League show, brought to you today, of course, by our good friends Boohoo Man. Look at that, my phone's going off, right? Our good friends Boohoo Man. Don't forget, you can get an additional 10% off of all their clothing. All you got to do is use the code AFTV10 for an additional 10% off. We've got Yardi in the building.
There.
And we got Ty in the building.
Peace.
And of course, we're going to be talking all things football. We're talking about the Champions League final. What a performance by PSG. Absolutely obliterating.
Training session.
Obliterating Inter Milan. I want to find out from these guys, who do they want? Sesko or Victor Gyökeres? And we might mention the Unity Cup, which took place.
We might mention. If you had won, you wouldn't be saying it. Robbie just admitted off air that if Jamaica had beaten us, which I don't think would happen, he would have been calling me.
No,
Can
he
you
didn't.
imagine?
When did
I
he say that?
Who said that?
First of all, production,
When
can
did
you
he say that?
please do me a favour and find out, because Yardi was running his mouth even more than Robbie. Robbie's different, you know what I mean? Robbie was saying a bit, but Yardi and Laurie. But Yardi said, and I quote, Jamaica always beat Nigeria. That's what Yardi said.
Find the clip.
So can you find it, please?
Find the clip.
The way Yardi was moving. But now, when Jamaica didn't beat us now, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing from Yardi. I saw him when we played Ghana. I even saw Robbie. Robbie had the cheek, in obviously, it's all love in funny terms, to say, oh, how many times have you been Nigeria? And I said, more times than Jamaica won a Caribbean Cup. And Yardi cut it off. Yardi cut it off. And also, not only that, Robbie also said to me, Robbie tried to carry on like Flex, big up Flex, you better win. Can you imagine? He tried to put pressure
Listen, hold on. Slow down a bit, yeah?
We said we might mention the Unity Cup.
Congratulations, right? We'll talk about the Unity Cup to start with. The Unity Cup, in case people didn't know, was a trophy that took place on the weekend. Actually, they run it over the whole week, and I've got to say well done to Brentford Football Club. They really organised a great event. It was a great event for Unity. It featured Trinidad, Jamaica, Ghana, and Nigeria, right? So you had the first game was Trinidad and Jamaica. Jamaica won that game by 3 goals to 2. Right?
Just
won
about.
by 3 goals to 2.
Just about.
Right?
Okay.
Then the second game was Nigeria versus Ghana. Nigeria won it 2-1.
Just about. Yeah, it's 2. No, it's 2. You see, it's
Jollof Classico, them call it. Jollof Classico.
Jollof Classico, right? I have to say in that game, because I was at that game, right?
In the second
Ghana
half.
in the second half were all over you, man.
That's what I'm saying.
He actually did
very
say
lucky.
That to me after.
We were very lucky.
Right.
We were very lucky.
It came down to finals day on Saturday. That was Trinidad. They got absolutely battered
Finished
by
by
Ghana.
Ghana.
Ghana beat them 4-0.
Yeah.
Right? And then the final, right? The final, right? Jamaica versus Nigeria. It finished 2-2.
He did.
In full time.
Yeah, he did.
You know, he's here carrying on. He's like it was some big.
I'm not saying
the way he's talking, you would have thought they would have absolutely routed us.
That was and that's what I thought, but it didn't happen. And let me give Jamaica credit.
Nigeria won on penalties, and the fine margins of it, right, is just before, right, the Jamaican guy hit the crossbar. Yeah. The Nigerian guy who scored hit the post and came back in off the other post. Remember?
Yeah.
Those are the fine margins in football, right?
Okay.
But in over 90 minutes, it finished 2-2 tie. The way you're carrying on.
Did we deserve to not win in the 90 minutes?
You're carrying on.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
What?
He didn't.
2-2 was the right result over 90 minutes.
We dominated.
And you had a stronger side out. You had a much stronger side out. You had Chuck Wazy was playing. They had Nathan Teller. They had a way more stronger team.
Nacho.
Yeah, you see?
Nacho.
Yeah, he was on the bench. Kelechi was on the bench.
He came on.
Changed our team.
You had a stronger team. And not only that, right?
A stronger nation in football. So
you've got 200 million people in Nigeria.
Here we go.
Right? Jamaica's 3 million. Okay. But people, ask him about inside the stadium. Okay. Right? Yeah. Jamaican fans outnumbered Nigerian fans by 3-1.
Yeah, they did.
Where were your people, man?
We didn't need to turn up to beat you.
And ask him if he called any Jamaicans a nobody.
Why would I call Jamaican nobody?
He said he was in a stand, right? He said he was in a stand because behind each goal, you had Nigerian fans behind one goal, Jamaican fans behind the other goal. But then Jamaicans were everywhere else. Now he was in a stand where there was a lot of Jamaicans. Yeah. And did you call any of them nobodies?
No, because they wasn't like that.
Quiet.
You kept your mouth quiet.
Shut. Your mouth was quiet.
No, but it's not.
Like we say in Jamaica, shut your mouth.
It's not like that.
Shut your mouth.
We quieted Jamaica, but it's not like that. It's the unity
Notice
game.
people,
So,
he ain't called no Jamaicans no nobodies because he knew.
No.
Yeah?
I would only
say, yo,
boy, who you call nobody? Who you call nobody? I'm sure you is a nobody.
Yeah.
When I'm done with you, I go find out who is a nobody.
Well, we find out.
But nobody.
We find out
Kept quiet, innit?
Who nobody. You don't see nobody now. Nobody.
Yeah, you weren't singing those songs on Saturday.
How come you're green? How come you're green?
Green and white. Green, white and green.
The green that you were wearing, the tracksuit.
Yeah, it was bright.
How come it's a different color to the Nigerian green?
No, but that's just the top. The green and white and green is our flag, but that's just the top.
Yeah, but the one you have is a different color.
Yeah, it's not. It was light green.
You wash
used
it
to be
out
the
too much?
colours. No.
So why different color?
It's just a different color.
You don't have. You're not support.
We have black things.
No, listen.
Y'all.
He got upset.
Change the subject.
He got upset, yeah, because Ghana fans were calling them super turkeys.
No, because shouldn't you? Don't disrespect.
They
I would
call
never
them
disrespect Ghana.
super turkeys.
And what happened to Ghana?
They call them soft chickens.
Yeah, what did they call Jamaica? No noise from the reggae toys. Don't try it.
We call them reggae boys.
He's a reggae toy.
Reggae boys.
That we played with and we threw around when we won the penalty.
No,
Don't try it. Don't
you weren't saying that on Saturday.
You're quiet.
You didn't see me on Saturday though.
We did.
When we won, I didn't say anything.
You're hiding.
No, I wasn't hiding because I saw KG, so I wasn't hiding. And
yeah, because he was in the same side as you.
no, he wasn't. KG was outside. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that to be fair to Jamaica fans, after the game they were fine. It was
of course.
Cool. But what I'm saying is that if he's
it's the Unity Cup with some
it's
nice.
Unity Cup.
It's only you making trouble calling people nobodies and stuff like that.
It's the Ghana
fans. As
fans.
we said on Saturday,
it's Ghana fans. No, that's what.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
why you telling me then?
No, I'm saying because you filmed it. It was on your thing. That's why I saw it. All right. What do you mean? What am I telling you? You're the one that filmed it. When he said the turkeys, don't disrespect because after the game we didn't look like turkeys.
But they were disrespecting us.
No, they said they were talking about us, not Jamaica. Remember they were playing us. Okay. They said turkeys. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And I'm saying it's a Unity Cup. There's no need for disrespect because we're meant to be.
But you know what? Brilliant event. There's a load of celebrities there. Spice was there.
Yeah,
Sol Campbell was there. Popcorn.
D'banj.
Huh?
D'banj was there.
Who?
D'banj.
Yeah, D'banj. He was singing that. Yeah.
Stylo
G.
Ivan Toney was there.
Yeah, Ivan Toney was up there as well.
Marcus Gale, big up Marcus Gale.
Oh, yeah, Marcus Gale. Also,
Bashi.
Albert Adomo.
Akala.
They were there.
Not for them.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Robbie, me. Yeah, what are we there, man? And big up Deji Davis as well, the director at Brentford.
Yeah.
Big up to you, man. Like, really look after us when we was there and make sure it was good, man.
One of the only black directors in the Premier League.
Wow.
I think only him and there's a guy at West Ham.
And he's Nigerian background.
And he's Nigerian.
So.
And I've got to say, right, it was a great event because
it was.
bringing those communities together. You know what I mean? Like Ty said, no animosity whatsoever, just bare fun, bare jokes. I was getting loads of stick from Nigerian fans after the game.
Really?
Right? Oh. Yeah. In a friendly way. And it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And really had it. And I hope they bring it back next year. They are.
Yeah, they said they bring it back next year, same place again. So.
And next year,
let's hope it's not in the Champions League final.
These man up.
Brocking up who?
You.
Look, you see what I mean? He hasn't learned from Yardi. He hasn't learned brocking us up,
Now, you know what, right? What I saw, right, is that, as I said, Jamaica, a country of 3 million
Don't start
people.
This again. No, don't start this
Nigeria,
again.
200
I don't
million.
want this, so then you can't test us then. So why you say you can test us? He's like...
No, we can because...
No, you cannot.
Listen, over 90 minutes, it was 2-2.
Who won the cup?
Yeah.
2-2. So, yeah, it doesn't matter who won the cup. You beat Trinidad. The funny thing, I'll give Jamaica credit because when you beat Trinidad, I said, Jamaica, if Trinidad scored 2 against Jamaica, how many were going to score? We had a very difficult game. Our toughest game against Ghana. But when we scored, I thought it was going to be...
toughest game was
I thought it was going to be...
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was.
We came back twice.
I mean, it's Ghana. No, because...
What?
Because we beat Ghana. Did we beat you? We beat Ghana. We beat Ghana. Ghana to me, I was...
What do you mean? How can your toughest game be Ghana when you beat
because
them 2-1?
It's African... Because what you...
But it can't be tougher because we've lost over 90 minutes and
We
beat us.
changed our team.
Even our game felt more physical.
Yeah.
And you might were dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Super flies.
super.
What do you make of that? Right? Because you're always talking
Cup.
about the ref and that. Well, the amount of times the Nigerian players are going down.
So Jamaica players never went down?
Maybe once.
Once. Maybe 11.
Nixon went down once and he was actually injured and he got substituted not too long after that.
Nigerian
players were on the ground crying.
Crying about what? Crying about winning?
For Super Eagles.
Crying about winning.
I'm move like some sulking kids.
Can you find when Yardi I would pick?
But no,
Yardi
big and serious. Jokes aside, well done to Super Eagles.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done to everybody who took part in that.
Yeah, Trinidad as well.
I really enjoyed it. And
well done, Trinidad.
You know what I did? It reminded me of games back home, like when you go football games back home, because the vibes that's there.
Yeah, it's brilliant vibes.
You know what I mean? I know Premier League games are not going to be like that, but
no,
boy,
there's too much of an edge.
Wish it was.
No, it will never be like that. No segregation in Premier League games. Can you imagine what would happen? No segregation.
But it's nice. And you know what it is? It's like,
nice. It was brilliant
It's
to see.
a mixture of everybody. You know, like there's a lot of people came out, and there's people who went football for the first time, and they're our football games like this. I'm like, no, you don't want to go certain Premier League games. It's definitely not like this.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it was a good vibe,
let me do some super chats. Sandvik says, hey Ty, love you lad. What's your favourite game as an Arsenal fan?
I'm sorry, love you too, but this is question Ty, so leave that for later. Next, please. Just kidding.
Man's getting all like...
I'm kidding. Well, my favourite game, it can only be one game. There's so many, and it's a game I wasn't at. It's probably the greatest moment in our football history.
You missed that game?
Before I was going, is obviously when we won the league at Anfield.
Okay.
Michael
Thompson Mouse says, be humble, Ty.
Yeah, I'm humble.
Or I'll clap you up like... Who's Alexis? No, I'm not even going to read that just in case.
No, you can't. Listen, I'll talk, but you can never clap me up verbal. I'll clap you up. Goodbye.
Kashi Cole says, Ty, you need to be humble.
I am humble.
These you need to humble these men.
Oh, right. He
said, don't forget, they were saying they were running up their mouths when Nigeria drew against Zimbabwe.
Thank you, Cashley. Thank you. He's absolutely right. Exactly. You are right. Please, production, find out when I'll say it again. Yardi said, and I quote, Jamaica always beat Nigeria.
I never said that.
Original
I've seen Jamaica and Nigeria draw 0-0 at Millwall football ground.
You said Jamaica.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
No, that's true. They did.
Yeah, they draw 0-0 at Millwall. When they used to do this, when they used to keep this as a yearly thing.
Original Don Dada says, don't forget Ty said it would be embarrassing if Nigeria were to draw against Jamaica.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
Yeah. Those super pigeons don't make it.
I don't think I said that, but we won.
They're being rude. They call it super pigeons.
But we won the Unity Cup.
No, is that true? Let's find that clip if that's true.
Yeah.
That you said it'd be embarrassing if you drew.
If I was, that's just tongue in cheek because Jamaica.
No. If that's true. That's true.
That's tongue in cheek. But the thing is, even it's not embarrassing if you win a trophy. It's not.
No, but you said if
I said that,
because we did draw.
That's tongue in cheek. Yeah, but it's a friendly game, isn't it?
Blacko said, remember a time when we had all three Henry, Van Persie and Adebayor. We're big enough to get both Gyökeres and Sesko.
Yep, true.
But if we can't get Gyökeres, get Mbuemo too.
Yeah.
And Kashiko says, Jamaica couldn't beat Nigeria's C team. Hold that. Listen, that was our F team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had Nigeria had more established first team players playing than we did.
Yeah.
I
think we have established now
because we're the better football nation.
Cashiko is definitely Nigerian. Even though he comes for you every week.
No, he can't come for me. But Nigerian.
This week is your friend now.
Anyway, after that game, we sat down and we watched the Champions League final, and I've got to say,
watch the Champions League training.
Wow, what a mismatch that was, right? PSG were absolutely brilliant. They absolutely tore Inter Milan apart. The heaviest ever defeat of for a team in a Champions League final, 5-0. Could have been more as well.
Yeah.
I reckon they could have won that by 8. The amount of chances they missed.
They did.
What?
Brilliant performance by PSG. You know, listen, when we told Tottenham fans that, you know, beating Bodo Glimt in a semi-final is not the same as facing PSG, now you understand what we're talking about. They were a very, very good side. And
Are you considering they beat Man City, Liverpool,
they beat us,
Villa and Arsenal.
Unfortunately.
They beat those 4 teams going in. And if you're even just looking at Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, we're talking about the top.
City.
They did. They knocked them out.
No, they knocked them out.
They knocked them out. They had the playoff.
No, Liverpool they beat.
Who they had in the playoff?
Who did they knock out?
Man, they beat Man City.
No, they beat Liverpool.
I think did Real Madrid knock out Man City or something? I think Real Madrid
they beat in their playoff. I think they played Brest. That French team put 7 past them.
I am right.
Did they beat Man City?
Of course.
Yeah, they knocked them out. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The playoff.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. No, did they?
Yes.
They beat Liverpool.
They beat Man City.
They beat Villa.
Then they beat Liverpool. Then they beat Villa. Then they beat us.
It was a playoff with Man City.
I don't even remember them playing Man City.
It sounds a bit
let's Google search it because I know I'm right. Google search it.
I think you're right. They did beat Man City.
And if that's the case, you think about they beat 1, 2, 3, the top 3 in the
champions of England.
They beat them 4.
They beat every
4-2. See, they beat them 4-2.
You're right.
So they beat the 3 top teams in England towards the final.
Wow.
You think about that?
But they deserve to win that.
Of course
they were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely.
But why was Inter though?
You know what?
Inter probably asking the same question. Why I'm
You know what? Inter got a very old team and they were made to look old.
Yeah.
They were made to. Did you see Dembele? The way he was like, he's standing on the edge of the box, right? Like waiting like a sprinter, like that. And every time like they tried to play out the back, right? They just made them. They just could not live with the PSG press.
But that must have been a tactic.
Right? It was a tactic, and
of course,
and I don't get these teams. If the press ain't working, go long. Get the ball up to Lautaro Martinez, but they just could not live with the pace of PSG, the skill. I mean, that Doué was brilliant. I mean, it was just a brilliant performance by them and Champions League winners.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved, and they got to the final. They won their first Champions League. I see people saying online that should have been us. Listen, it should have, could have, but it wasn't us. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that I disagreed with Mikel Arteta when he said we weren't the better team when we played them. They were the better team. Listen, we did a lot better than Inter did. We created a lot of chances. Donnarumma made some fantastic saves.
They went out in January and bought in player.
Yes,
right.
Scalia was one of the best players in the tournament.
And things like that can help you. We was in a position in January. I mean the season's over now, but we were in a position in January where we were still in the free competitions. We were still in it. When January started, we were still in a chance of trying to get somewhere into this in Premier League title, still chasing it, right? We didn't do anything to carry on. So
do nothing,
I don't want to hear no excuses in this transfer window. You saved your January money, add it onto your summer money, and now you're going to spend big money. That's what you need to do this summer.
I want big signings. I mean, Mikel Arteta says there's going to be big signings. There has to be.
Has to.
Not I hope so.
No, has to.
Not I hope so, Ty. There must be.
Has to. Listen, not disrespect to Kai Havertz, but come the first Premier League game of the season, I do not want to see Kai Havertz as our main striker up front. I don't want to see that. Do you understand what I mean? I want to see an out-and-out goal scorer up front ready for us. I want him to be in pre-season training with the team. I don't want him to be coming in and trying to fit in. I want you to have him in from the first day of training, pre-season. First day in.
Who do you want?
How much money we have?
A lot of choice.
How much money we have?
Listen, there's a lot of choice, right, between... It seems to be boiling down to 2 players.
Yeah.
Victor Gyökeres of Sporting scored 54 goals in all competitions last season.
That's very good.
Or Sesko of RB Leipzig. Sesko. What did he score?
Legend.
13 goals in the Bundesliga.
Yes, the something song,
Who do you want? Who do you want, Ty?
I'd say...
You want Adebayo.
I want him to apologise for his nonsense, But... I'd like Gyökeres, but then I wouldn't mind either 2. I wouldn't mind either one or both of them really.
Yo, Messi, man. I see a report, so we have over 200 million to
allegedly,
spend.
but they can not Yardi. We're not going to do. Who is it that time that came out and said that we've got this money to spend? You remember?
No,
we will never do that again. You can't do that.
We have over 200 million to spend.
But we don't know that, Yardi.
Go
That's
up.
Rumours.
Listen, I will drive you. Let's go up to Newcastle and slap 120 million on the table and see if we can get Isak.
You won't get Isak.
Listen, I'll be honest.
You never know.
I would take either of them. I don't really have a preference to say go more for this one or that one because I'm not gonna be one of them people that be like, yeah, go for this player because of this. I haven't watched enough of them more than just highlights and looking at stats of what they've done. So I've seen a few games of both of them, but I haven't proper watched them season in and out gaming because I don't follow their teams. You understand what I mean? But if any of them come in, they have to come in and do the job.
I got two feelings. Listen, my preference is Victor Gyökeres, right? But there's two, you can look on it from both sides, right? So Victor Gyökeres, with his goal scoring record, is absolutely unbelievable what he's done over there in Portugal. But Darwin Núñez also had an unbelievable goal scoring. I think he scored nearly 39 goals or something before he came to Liverpool. And I think we've seen that he's not been able to handle the step up to the Premier League. No. The Portuguese league, with all respect, the levels,
it's different.
You know, once you go beyond the top 4 teams, the other teams are nowhere near the level of the Premier League teams. That's just facts, right? So can Victor Gyökeres come to the Premier League and do what he's been doing in the Portuguese league for the last 2 seasons in the Premier League? That's the question that needs to be answered. But then you look at someone like Sesko. He hasn't been prolific, but then he's in the Bundesliga. That's harder league to score goals in, right? And when we look at certain players in recent seasons that have come to the Premier League and hit it off, they haven't always come in as prolific. Score. So Isak wasn't prolific.
I saw your video saying
before he came. And then you can look at, there's many other players.
No, it's true.
But then when I swim back on the other side, you look at sometimes we can't afford to wait on those ceiling and
this is the problem.
Player. I mean, we need to listen. Harry Kane went to Bayern. They wanted goals, and they wanted it now.
And he provided.
Got it.
And he's just gone in there, goal, like what we've seen him doing every single year since this guy's been playing football. So that's why, for me, I get Gyökeres. But then, as I said, you know, even when I look at, I was thinking about it the other day. You look at some of the players in recent years that have really, I mean, when Salah came into Liverpool from Roma, he wasn't hitting the numbers.
When he went to Chelsea,
he'd been at Chelsea.
Yeah. But then he went to Roma. He did well at Roma. Did very good. He weren't hitting them numbers like what he hit. You know, Sadio Mane, when he came from Southampton, wasn't hitting those numbers. When he comes into a better team, so I get all that. But for me, right now, if I've got a choice between the two, it's Gyökeres. If it's Sesko, I'm still going to be happy. But I'll be even more happier if we get Gyökeres. But if it's Sesko,
know what happens? Because the fans, most of the fans want Victor Gyökeres.
It's goals.
We're gonna end up with Sesko. You know that happens.
I know, they always do the opposite of what the fans.
So
and it can't just stop.
No, definitely not.
I want to see a lot of attacking options at Arsenal. I want them to go out there. I mean, I'd love to see a Rodrigo come in.
Yeah, definite. No, 100%.
I'd love to see a signing like that, like, you know, a Nico Williams. Someone's going to get me really excited.
Even Lookman.
I want excitement this.
Yeah, man.
I said it the other day.
As long as we win things.
One of those signings where you think to yourself, yeah, man, I want to get that name on my shirt, man. Like,
we need a Sanchez again. That's what we need. We need another Sanchez,
you know what I mean? Like an exciting...
Real talk. That's what we need.
Exciting, that's got to win things, isn't it?
Yeah, but certain players we feel can come with that.
Yeah, but they're going to be expensive, aren't they?
We know that.
We got money. They didn't spend any money in January.
Brentford and get Mbeumo. Get him as well. Bring him in. We need options. Let me tell you something.
They got money, Ty.
We need options.
What they spend in January? Nothing.
Nothing.
We have got money.
You have? We know you have, you know.
I wish I did have.
You have.
I'd love to hear from people who their preference is. UK Stob says, I don't understand why Arsenal fans are the most hated in the country. It must be because of Ty.
No. We're not. Who's that? Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
UK Stobbs.
Yeah, it's UK nonsense. Get lost.
Football Rant says, Ty, do you think that Arsenal would have won more trophies under Wenger if the refs never favoured United?
Of course. Hands down, of course. I'm absolutely 100% there. But that's an easy question to answer. Of course.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you, Yardi. It's from TJ. He says, is Kai Havertz better than Sesko? Kai this season and managed 9 goals. Imagine an improved version of Kai, aka Sesko. Gyökeres does not fit Arteta's tactics.
I don't know about
See,
that.
Sesko, but I think Kai is not a natural striker.
No.
He can play that position, but he's not that. That's not where he originally plays. Sesko, that's his position. He is similar, but I feel Sesko has a better finish. I feel he's a better finisher than Kai Havertz. Havertz, you probably need. I said this to Sesko one time. I said with Havertz, you don't really know his signature. Like, certain strikers, they have a signature goal. When time they like Henry,
He's good in the air, innit?
he leans and then just slides.
Yeah, but that's the legend.
I think this guy Owen, he says the fact that Slick Mick, I think he's talking about Mikel Arteta, prefers a 21-year-old who scored 13 Bundesliga goals over a guy who scored over 90 goals in the last 2 years shows why he's won nothing.
Yeah, but we don't know. But we don't know what Mikel prefers.
Yeah.
The only person.
No. But the talk is that he prefers Sesko.
Yeah.
But Berta, the sporting director, prefers Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Really?
And I prefer Gyökeres.
Well, that's interesting.
And who want Osimhen? Nobody know Osimhen? Osimhen
I'd take Osimhen as well.
Right, I would
Osimhen.
take him right now.
I think he's a goal scorer as well.
Yeah.
Original Don Dada says Ty can't give it. Now, let me rephrase it. It says Ty, you can't give it now.
Why is that?
He said because he doesn't even know how to make jollof. You should take a trip to Senegal and learn before he starts talking.
I can't give what?
You can't give us no stick about Nigeria. You don't even know how to make jollof.
Why would I give you stick about
Nigeria? That's factually true.
No, but why would I give you stick about Nigeria? It doesn't make any sense.
Because you won the Unity Cup.
No, that's just jokes, man. Listen, go sit down in the darkened room, man. Go sit down in the darkened room.
Brother Seamus says...
Turn out the lights like Kanye West.
Brother Seamus says, one for you, Yardi, and you, Ty. Thoughts on Saka not wanting to get interviewed at the F1? That happened yesterday, if you saw it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I did.
Yep.
Bukayo Saka's at the F1, they're walking down the pit lane, they do that a lot, and they went up to him, wanted to interview him, and he said, no, I don't want to be interviewed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. And
Bad
the reason
manners?
why... No, it's not
No,
bad
I don't
manners.
think so.
Bad manners, lip up, whatever, wicked. But what it is with Bukayo is, I think that's fantastic. Because I don't know who wants to interview. Because... Carly Simon. I know why, because basically they're going to say, "Oh, do you think you should have done that?" They're going to ask him nonsense. They think
ask him about the F1.
No, but that's what they say. They're going to give him football
How do you know?
Because they know. Because he knows what it's like. He would have been briefed by the club, and they would have said, "Don't answer anything." So that's why I said no.
But a lot of times they've been walked down the pits. They've interviewed Mbappe. They've interviewed many players.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that. If we had won, it's different. Because I know they're going to ask him, do you think you should have... That's what they're going to do. That's what I mean. Because
it's not the F1.
Yeah,
They're going to ask him about McLaren and Red Bull.
No. They would. I'm telling you, Robbie, they would have asked him
How do you know?
Because they know it works. Listen, from what I know the club...
Have you been to F1?
No.
But how do you know?
No, I'm
How do you know what they're going to ask him?
I'm talking about the things. Because I've seen it before. They would ask
Seen it where?
I've seen it when players have been out...
At the F1?
Nowhere. No, not the F1, but I've seen.
No. In the F1, they'll go up to people and they'll say, like, because they all do that all the time. So they'll go up to like a player and they'll say, "Oh, so which team are you supporting here today? Who do you like to win?" Things like that. They ask some questions around the F1.
Yeah.
But they could have. But you don't know. The club could have said, "Do not answer any questions." We don't know that. So
they can't tell him that. He's out on his own leisure.
Personally, for me,
that's why
I don't see anything wrong.
Exactly. He doesn't want to speak. He's there chilling out.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think your season's done. Your season's finished now.
Exactly.
You're enjoying your time now.
Exactly.
I mean? If you don't want to speak to do an interview, you don't have to. It's not like you were brought there by Sky and Sky has told you.
That's true.
You went there by yourself with your friends, with your teammates from your England
Maybe you don't want to be bothered.
And you know what I mean? You just don't want to talk about anything today. You just want to be there and do that. Simple as that. I've seen a clip of Pep doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And there was no uproar.
Exactly.
And I heard there's even one of Cole Palmer as well, and there's been no uproar of it. So people just want to get at Saka because it's Saka and he plays for us.
And also, can I even say, this is not even in F1. This was a football thing. This is a long time ago, when Gareth Bale was getting bad stick at Real Madrid, they said, "Oh, Gareth," he ignored them and no one said nothing. They asked him questions. Gareth, he walked
to the F1.
So what I'm saying is, so like Yardi says, when other people do it, it's not a problem. As soon as Bukayo does it, it's a problem.
Original Don Dada says, Ty, on the grid, they ask who you are supporting, and if you've been to a Grand Prix before, they do kind of ask them.
I know he's saying. I don't know what questions they were gonna ask, but yes, normally they do ask about Formula One. but he has the right to say yes or no. So it shouldn't be no big deal.
You don't have to
shouldn't be no big deal.
No, they shouldn't assume that he's going to answer their, he's just, it doesn't look good, does it? When you...
It doesn't matter, Robbie. The thing is, leave the man alone. The man's season is finished. Leave the man alone. Can't the man get no peace? This is what I'm saying.
If you saw him, you go up to him. And you
but I know him, though. But I know him.
You know him?
Of course I know him.
Your brethren?
He's not my bedroom, but I knew to
He's on your phone?
He's not on my phone.
Well, what do you mean you're carrying on like you know him? Like
I do know him.
Friend now?
No, I know him.
You know him from where?
I know him from the youth team. What do you mean from where? I know him from the youth team. Just like Eddie, I know them, man.
Yeah,
Eddie,
I know them as well.
Miles,
do they know you?
Of course he knows me. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. But you like to leave the man.
He calls you by your name, Ty.
He would, of course, he would know me. He'd know me. Miles as well. He would know me. You knew, but you know the deal with Miles anyway, because you.
I don't know no deal with nothing.
Yeah, what can I deal?
Okay. No, it's not like that.
What can I deal?
What's the deal?
What's the deal? Tell me the deal. No, I don't know about the deal. More I know about the deal.
What's the scenario?
Deal or no deal?
Try cook question.
What's the
No,
deal?
what's the scenario? No. What it is what I'm saying. So I've forgotten now. What I'm saying is that he does know. He does know me to chat to. I know him to chat to. But what I'm saying.
To be fair. I do understand what you're saying. Listen,
exactly.
I don't know about leave him alone because it is something they do. And when you walk down them pits, they do that. They do come up to you. But he has every right to say, bro, like what Yardy said, he has every right to say, yo, I'm just here with my friends. I just want to relax and take in. But then it didn't look good.
Why did it look good?
It never looks good when you're a celebrity and you ignore.
Yeah.
It just don't look. I mean, I understand.
Ignore them, though.
I understand. Listen, I understand why he did it. I understand, listen, there's times, even me, I'll go out, I'm not even near these guys, how big they are. There's times I go out and sometimes you kind of want your own, it's like, yo, I'm not really there for that today. I'm just kind of chilling or what, and, you still got to speak to people and that, you got to respect people when they come up.
Yep.
So I understand, I don't think he did it in a bad way.
No, he didn't in a bad way.
He didn't say, yeah, boy, move or nothing like that.
No, he
didn't.
didn't.
Said, no, not right now. But then,
and also,
what I would say is when you're in those pits, they do come up to you a lot. Like they got a little feature where they'll look for a little celebs
and go up to them,
to come up and just ask you a quick question. So,
but there's been a few I've seen where they not stop and talk to them. I've seen a few where they're trying to talk to somebody and he keeps walking off, leave them. It's not a footballer or anything. It's another celebrity. I don't know if he's an actor or a musician or something like that. I've seen it happen before. So it's like. People just want to get at. I'm telling you, they get at Saka because he's a young black man and he plays for Arsenal as well. That's another reason why, if we're being honest about it. And most of the people that are having the uproar are people who don't like Arsenal and want to wind up Arsenal fans, and also white racist people. Let's be real about it. That's the ones that are mostly making the uproar about it. So
I don't think
leave the kid alone. Leave him alone. You don't know what's going on.
But I do think, like I said, it is one of them things that it looks worse than it.
Because they're making a big thing of it.
When I watched it back, he just said, yo.
I ain't got nothing to say.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Eze the right, so he just win the FA Cup. Speak to Eze. Why did he try to speak to him?
And it could be a thing that he doesn't, I don't know if this is true, but it could be a thing that he's not well versed on F1, so he doesn't really want to speak about it.
Absolutely.
He's just there to enjoy himself.
I could be wrong about the club, but I just think that if the man, there is nothing he won't answer in football. Is the man not allowed any privacy? So that means then he must answer questions every time. Every time he's out on the street, he must answer questions all the time.
Because there's another clip of him signing pictures for kids and stuff like that.
Exactly. But also, though,
he doesn't have to, like you said, he don't have to answer there. I mean, he's not working for F1.
Man. And also, absolutely. Sorry, Robbie, Yardy. And also, these people reporting it. Did they report that on Members' Day, he was there waiting for the kids to come over on the pitch when all the players were gone? Did they report that?
No.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? So no, leave the man alone, man. Leave him alone.
Football Rant says, would Chris Wood be a good signing for Arsenal?
Hey, listen, yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Know.
What?
Because Nottingham Forest is different, isn't it?
Listen, man.
The way Nottingham Forest plays.
Get the ball.
Can he do the same thing for us?
Listen, let me tell you what Arsenal needs to do.
He's done well, though, Chris.
Listen, we talked about it already. We've been obviously on a cheap. We're not gonna spend a big money for him. But I'm saying like we talked about it before. Arsenal became very predictable. We become very predictable with how we play.
More predictable with Chris Wood.
Yeah, but guess what? Get the ball in the box. Get the ball in the box. That's the problem.
It's Gyökeres or Sesko, not Chris Wood. Andrew S says Martin Brundle was going to ask, what's your honest opinion on that Thai bloke from AFTV.
Yeah, it would have been great. That's good. He would have said that he's the best fan in the world.
Brother Seamus says if Emma Hayes would have done that, what Saka did, Ty would be fuming.
Yes, and you know why? Because Emma was an arrogant, disgusting disgrace of a football manager who should be in jail. Bukayos none of those.
Jail?
Football jail. None of those
jail because
Bukayos very football jail. Because like I said,
jail.
Yeah, the football
You're in
jail.
a football jail.
No, she should be in it. She should be in it anyway. She should be in it. Along with Joe Barton.
Where is
it?
Where's the football jail?
She should be in it. She should be in it.
Kashi Cole says Saka was lucky it wasn't Martin Brundle. He would have chased him down until he got a few words from him.
He wouldn't.
I think that's who I'm talking. He was chasing down somebody.
Why?
They trust man.
Yeah, but
you see, sometimes with these guys, like remember, they're out there and it's their job to get clips from people.
Yeah. You can't fault. I don't fault those. I don't fault the TV guys. That's their job. They walk down there. They're trying to get an interview.
People don't want to talk. You've got to respect that.
As a matter of fact, he's got a scoop now because everyone's talking about it. So without him even talking.
But it's a
and that's why probably it would have been easier just to say a couple of words and just.
Listen, it's up to Bukayo, isn't it?
It is up to him. It is up to him. Idiot of the week. And by the way, we did the idiot of the season last week.
Yeah, we did do it last season.
Idiot of the week.
It was Manchester United we did last week, yeah? Idiot of the week. I'm going to give idiot of the week to Inter Milan.
Yeah, 5-0 in a
Come
final.
on, man. You go to a final and do that. Like, you do
good,
that.
Man.
That's embarrassing, man. Yeah, it is. You better put everybody in at the goal then. And just said.
I even felt sorry for them, man.
Yeah,
I felt sorry for their fans.
It's terrible.
Oh, for the fans, yeah.
You go all the way there, man. You've a final 5-0.
I didn't even fight.
I mean, come
he
on.
didn't even put up a fight.
He's weird. But then you got to give
even
PSG
put up
credit.
a fight. Yeah, man.
You got to give PSG credit.
And who is your boohoo man
Boohoo
of the week?
Men of the week are the reggae. Sorry.
What?
PSG. PSG, have to get to PSG, man. You know, even just as I said, like we spoke about it earlier, that the route they took to get to that final, teams they've beaten along the way. Not to say Inter didn't have, because Inter had Bayern Munich. And
Barcelona.
That's what I'm saying. You beat Bayern Munich, you beat Barcelona and go to a final and did that. You're a double idiot, actually. I just think about it, man. It's but PSG winning their first Champions League and the way they did it as well, man. Credit to them, man. Big up to them.
I just realised you both were in the same top.
Yeah.
And they bought medium as well.
Yeah.
Apart from you never wear short sleeves. I noticed that.
Yeah. But
you never wear
you get a long sleeve one. I didn't get it.
Even
is this a medium?
Yes, medium.
So you don't fill it out.
Is that not enough?
Gym wear. You need to train some more.
Nah, man.
But
you
never wear short sleeves. You never wear.
Don't lean like smoking. Lean.
And you never wear shorts. Even when we was in Nigeria and it's really, really hot, you didn't wear anything.
Yeah.
Why?
Even on my team on FC25, obviously other teams are available. Wear long sleeve shirts and all that. That's
but if we're going away on holiday, to somewhere hot, you can need
holiday.
Some shorts. Yeah.
Madonna, very good.
Yeah, but holiday.
And I should be careful, so I try to think. Calvin Harris and the other artists remix.
Okay,
fantastic song.
So where you go wear upon holiday?
Just
where you wear swimming?
What stuff? I don't go.
You wear a scuba suit?
The last time I went swimming was when I was in school.
Man, turn up to the
I don't really go swimming. Man,
turn up to the pool and scuba diving.
Scuba diving? Why would I wear scuba diving?
Full suit.
Well, because full suit, because you don't want to show your legs and you don't want to show your arms. Well, you never wear short sleeves.
That's just me, innit? That's just me. That's me.
Why?
Carly Simon.
Where you hide?
Hide what?
We asking questions. It's just yes or no question time.
Hideaway, wasn't that by...
Why you change the subject to song?
DeLacy. Hideaway was did by DeLacy. Hideaway. DeLacy. No, it's just the way I have it.
Yeah.
All right, ask Ty. Time for that. JCross996 says, Ty, at what point will you believe that Arsenal will do the quadruple?
Well, the funny thing is, when we do it, okay, goodbye.
Game Hut King 3153 says, it's not a question but a suggestion for you, Robbie. If Ty doesn't behave himself, then you should strip him of his hat and headphones. Headphone army, stand up.
Yeah, you see headphones today? Okay then.
That's true.
Why exactly?
That's true.
And why would Robbie
got the hat though?
On my hat, but this is a Boohoo Man hat.
When never had the headphones on against Nigeria and Ghana?
No, he was. The other night I saw him at the game. He did have headphones on.
I had them on.
What was you listening to then?
What was I listening to?
Soca. Soca in one ear, Afrobeats in the other ear.
So basically,
reggae in the next one.
We went to the first game.
And Soca in the other one.
You and Stricto sitting beside each other.
Yeah, against Ghana. I saw Stricto against Ghana.
Yeah, we see you.
Big him up. And also, I also have to say big up and thank you for Bidemi, my Nigerian brother, because he hooked me up. And yeah, against Trinidad, Jamaica. I was listening to
Trinidad, Jamaica. You went there?
Trinidad, Ghana. Sorry.
Yeah.
We saw the first game. I was listening to Captain X Reloaded, then History. That's what I listened to. I know you said he was
the
weird.
Gamer King 3153 says, question for Ty.
Yeah. Thanks for the
Do you actually enjoy riding on the 263 bus, and how is the experience?
Riding? Well, I don't actually ride because I sit down. So, but do I actually enjoy being on a bus? Yeah, the bus is fine. The bus is fine. It's a fantastic route. It is the route I go to watch under 21.
Don't you get stopped on that bus by loads of people?
Sometimes, but it's very flattering and humbling. Honor, privilege, very surreal. Yeah, it's great. When I go to watch our women under 21s, yeah. Right? Did you say where did I get it from? Did you say?
No.
Oh.
We don't want to know your personal details.
Yeah. That's all right.
Wanieri FTBL says, what position apart from striker do we need most, and do you still rate Odegaard?
Well, of course, I'd say a left winger, maybe right winger, maybe both. Mm-hmm. Of course. Anyone can have a loss of form. I
think not just a striker. Yeah, definitely. Cover. We said it's cover for Saka. Definitely is needed.
What about Wanieri can do that?
Well, then Odegaard need cover for Odegaard, or somebody pushing Odegaard to step up and not do that, because technically that's what I think that's affected us, is that there's players that know that their position is kind of safe because nobody's competing. Even like with Martinelli and Trossard, eventually I think one of them has to go, and you have to bring in somebody else that's more competitive, that is going to push the other person. Because at the moment they're not.
But they're in the same position though. I don't know if they're in the same position.
Who? Trossard and Martinelli?
They're both
of course they are.
Playing left wing last
year. But then are they? I don't know. I think Leandro could still play through the middle. I really do think he can.
No, I think Martinelli could play through the middle.
Yeah, both of them can.
More than Trossard. I think Trossard. Yeah, I don't know.
Leandro's more impact.
So what position apart from striker do you think we need?
Yeah, I think right for cover and another attacking midfielder.
You still rate Odegaard?
I do. I actually do. I'm not writing off yet, but he cannot have that season again. That has to be a one-off.
Yeah, but
you have to get back to form now.
What do you make of slightly off topic? What do you make of like Liverpool? Florian Wirtz are about to sign.
Yeah, I mean,
about 110 million pounds.
If they do, it's a good signing. But
for them. It's a great signing.
Can he come in and what I mean? It's always a case of that when you change clubs.
Yeah, but it's quality.
Yeah, but let's see if he does it here as well.
So is Chiesa. Who's the other midfielder that they bought that's hardly played?
Chiesa's like, he's had loads of injuries.
So what about Endo? So is Endo as well.
Yeah, but they're not the same level as Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, but so like you said, with Sesko and Gyökeres, it's always a gamble in them fitting in, isn't it?
Okay, Sunny Ali says, who would you rather sign? And you can only choose one. Sesko, Rodrigo, or Victor Gyökeres. Only one you can choose.
I'll probably go for Gyökeres at this time, meantime.
I'll probably go with him as well.
What about you, Robbie?
Gyökeres, definitely.
Yeah. And we didn't ask you.
We need a striker.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the question before? Who do you think we need? And do you rate Martin still as well?
Who do you think we need? Yeah, I still rate Martin Odegaard. He just had a bad season.
Exactly, which can happen.
But we need a striker. Oh, what position apart from the striker?
Yeah.
We need a left winger. We need a defensive midfielder.
Yes, that's Zubimendi. Zubimendi if he comes in.
I would like to see another forward come in, like another attacking forward player.
Another option, yeah.
I'd like to see. Listen, I just want attackers.
Yeah, I'll be honest here. That's all we need. We stop by defenders.
And I'll buy another creative midfielder, like you said, to pressure Martin Odegaard.
Yeah,
definitely. Gunnosaurus M4D says, was KT McCabe drunk?
Well, listen.
100% she was drunk.
Well, listen. Big her up first.
She was brilliant.
Big her up first of all. And the funny thing is, what's so amazing about that is that the rumbling rolls on because she was sliding around in the dressing room. She had a few choice words imitating what Jack did a couple seasons ago, which, you know, is obviously what's the thing? For anyone that they might not know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about vinyl records. They used to have sometimes explicit lyrics and all that, you know. Yeah. These lyrics are, you know what I mean? She had some choice words, you know, but yeah, she probably was, but I thought she was, apart from the bad language, which obviously we won't condone, it was fantastic because she was sliding around in the dressing room, dancing and everything. I saw everything.
She had a lot of sherbets that night before, right?
That's a good thing to talk about.
I'll tell you what, she's now my favourite player. Her performance, like, just like the way she took the mic.
Oh, brilliant.
She was so funny.
Singing her name, singing Kim, singing Stina. But funny enough, for all that, apparently, the stats are that she was, I think,
the drunkest?
the best. Possibly. I don't
the
know.
stats show the XG for the amount of red wines or white wines or champagne she drunk.
Obviously, other
XG 10.
available. I don't know if that's
an XG of 10.
I don't know if that's a word, drunkest, but she apparently was the best player out of the whole Champions League. She had the best stats. Yeah. So that just says everything about her.
She's brilliant.
She's Irish as well, isn't it?
So big her up, and I think
she was drinking Guinness.
She in the women's international. Congratulations to all the teams. She had an assist for Poker and all that. So you know, she did really well.
Let's get back into the super chats. Football Rat says Ty's jealous of the Chelsea women who are invincible.
But the funny thing, you know what? I'm just wondering. Do I have to go around saying to you, Yardi, you know my name is Tyrone? Did I tell you my name is Tyrone? Because if I remember quite rightly, and you were there, on the stream when we beat Barcelona, I said that, and I said it to you before, that's fine. Chelsea women went unbeaten, they won the treble. But our women went unbeaten and won 6 trophies. Now, what part of that did I understand? Why would we be jealous when we've done more? Okay. What part do they not understand?
Yeah, I tell them again.
Actually, Cole says, what's more embarrassing, the Champions League final or the final in Baku against Chelsea?
What's most embarrassing
for me, that one the other night, that Champions League final, 5-0, could have been 8. That's worse.
What's most embarrassing?
Ours was bad.
Is beating Chelsea 2-1. When they equalised, when Costa scored and then Aaron scored. That's what was embarrassing. When Chelsea fans were trying to celebrate and then they went back to losing.
Dex27 said, I asked Ty for a photo and he took it on his phone. Well, it definitely didn't come out.
The funny thing is, do you know what? Did you buy that for someone else? Because we've heard that about 1 million times. Please get some new material, please.
Rasta Mouse said he'd like to, Tyrone, would you auction your headphones for charity? Would you?
No.
Man said Tyrone.
Oh, for charity?
No.
Man said Tyrone.
My name is Tyrone.
No, for charity.
Don't disrespect my name. Rasta
you wouldn't auction him for charity?
No. Not for him anyway. For somebody, because you remember, he tried to bait out Yardi, so no, I wouldn't. Do you remember what he tried to do last time when you and Kenya? Kimani? So, no. Definitely not. Not for him. Anybody else but him.
All right. Idris says Vitinha is what Odegaard is supposed to be. He was brilliant, Vitinha.
Yeah,
do you remember Vitinha? He was at Wolves.
Yeah, he was at Wolves.
Okay.
Could not even get a game.
Yeah. No, but you're saying that. So what? Is Martin not allowed to have a bad? Is he not allowed to have a bad season?
Yeah,
is he not to have a loss of form? It happens. It's life. He said, like you said,
but again, that's what I'm saying. Used to be at Wolves. Yeah, well,
exactly.
Sometimes a player just needs a change of club as well. Now, like even though we joke about Nunes, Nunes could go to a different club now, and next minute he finds back his goal scoring.
I think Nunes is a good player.
Sometimes
you take him at Arsenal.
Possibly, but 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 I know you're gonna say we want bigger.
Listen, I tell you what Nunes needs to do. Like Nunes, if you ever see his clip.
Nunes. No, you know what I'm talking about. I think you're talking about Cunha.
Oh no, sorry, Nunes. What I think you need to do is stop aiming for the goal and aim for the goal, the corner post. Try that.
That's a bit harsh.
It's not harsh, because you always miss. Like so, wherever you're aiming, aim a different direction. Just try it out.
I do though think he's a player that can go somewhere.
And
yeah.
And flourish.
Yeah. He could come Arsenal and do it. He could. You never know. You know, it's because we say this.
I think he needs to come out of the Premier League. Go somewhere.
Why?
He gets
chances. He does get a lot of chances.
Spain or something like that. I think he could go and do what. Italy, I could see him do well.
You don't think he could do it? Because could he do what Chris Wood does?
I do think he could do it here, right? But I just think he's a bit traumatised because of his time at Liverpool.
So maybe you just need to switch clubs.
So, yeah, but I think I could see him going to Italy. Remember Lukaku used to miss chances?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But every league he goes to, actually, even when he's here, he scored goals.
Yeah.
Just won the league, by the way, with Napoli again.
Napoli, yeah.
He's won a lot of titles.
Yeah.
They say Osimhen misses chances. Just won the league with Galatasaray.
Yeah. Second time.
Won the league with Napoli.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, goal scorers miss chances.
They do.
Man.
They do.
But, you know.
They do.
Kusta Fute said, would you trade Odegaard for Wirtz? He says, big up everyone.
No.
I wouldn't. But Wirtz is quality.
He's quality.
But Odegaard's been quality for us. He's just had a bad season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As well.
He needs to hit the ground running next season properly.
Everybody is allowed to have a bad season and a loss of form.
Yeah.
What if he has another bad season next year?
Yeah.
And we win things. Who's going to win?
And that's why. No, and that's.
Then what?
Then we deal with that then.
What would you do? What would you do? You say deal with it. Then what would you do?
Yeah, we'll see what's happening, innit? Because
I'm asking you. You don't need to see what's happening. He's had another bad season.
Yeah.
That's 2 bad seasons in a row. What would you do?
And there's people that have had 10 bad seasons in a row. They don't seem to be talked about.
We don't care about them. I'm asking you, what would you do as a manager, right? Well, if Martin Odegaard has another, that's 2 bad seasons. Yeah. What would you do?
Then we'll find out what's happening.
You don't need to find it. You know what's happening. He's just had 2 bad seasons.
And we win things.
No, we haven't. So the scenarios, we haven't won things. He's just had another bad season.
Yeah.
That's 2 in a row. What are you going to do?
Well, we have to cross the bridge when it comes to it, Robbie. That's
I'm asking you to stop.
I don't know what I would do. That's what I mean. But
why are you avoiding answering a simple question? Cross the bridge when I come to it.
Yes, because...
Let's see what happens. A straight answer. What would you do?
I cannot honestly say, but it's not all
the captain of your team.
Yes, but is he the only one? Is he the only player now?
No, but...
Everybody is invested. Even us as fans, we're all invested. So when one player is having a bad game,
if a player has 2 bad seasons, you just say, "Oh, he's Arsenal. I'll pass that by."
No, we see what's happening.
What's happening is he's had back-to-back bad seasons. Would you look to change it?
Of course not.
What?
Of course not. Why would I look to change him?
This is the guy that's meant to be creating everything for us. This is the guy that's meant to make things happen. Why wouldn't you change
it?
Yes, because if I look at him, what he's done, he's been brilliant.
All right, if he has 3 bad seasons, then what?
That's a different thing. Then we can have a discussion. But that's a different thing. That's a different thing. But that's what I mean. There's no.
I'll tell you, man. If it was down to him, we'd have the same players we have in 1989.
So what are you two saying then? So
for me,
you say you get rid of him.
No, listen. That's why I said, if you hear what I said when Robbie asked who would you be bringing in, I said we need another attacking midfielder to come and put pressure on Odegaard.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
what I'm saying, because we cannot afford to have only Odegaard as our only creative midfielder, and he's not stepping up. Because again, if he knows his position is safe, sometimes a player knows that the position is safe on the pitch.
That's true.
There's no one pressuring him in training.
He'd be safe with him.
It's good. He'd be safe. He'd
never get rid of anyone.
He'd never have to go training. Players them could sleep all day, every day, and just turn up on match day.
Training.
They could just turn up on match day, be like, "Oh, sorry, Ty.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, Ty.
Sorry, Ty.
Sorry, Ty. Don't worry.
It would be sorry, boss, gaffer. That's what it would be.
Never.
Double D says, big up Ty, Arsenal fan legend.
Thank you. Who is that?
Double D.
Thank you very much, Double D.
Double D?
Well, legendarily lucky. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not even saying anything.
Double D?
But what we have said, I've forgotten. I'm not saying anything. What we haven't said is
we know you're not.
We haven't spoken about the unfortunate scenes at the Liverpool parade, and hearts and thoughts go out to the 50 people or 79 people that were injured, and even big up Stricto. I saw him at the Unity Cup when we beat Ghana, and I saw him. He was a bit over the top. No disrespect when he said 6-1.
Oh, you saw what he said?
Yeah, because
you see what he said,
because my petition was 12-1. I'm just.
No.
Stricto was only he's a bit over the top. But what he said on a serious note was, and I'm never going to say it. I'll tell you to affair. People were saying that a certain head coach was driving the car, and he was saying, listen, you cannot make jokes. There's time for, what happened? There's no time for jokes. I just think, why? You can't joke about things like that.
It's not good
People
what happened.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Why are you making it a football joke thing? That's what Stricto said. It's true. People
and that's the
saying
other side, like even with the PSG fans winning and celebrating Paris, the way they were behaving over there is
2 people died in there as well.
Why did they put
one person got knocked over?
Exactly.
Got stabbed.
It's crazy, man.
Sad.
Just celebrate peacefully, man.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Peacefully.
That's why to be fair, you need more Unity Cup things. Because I think that's a brilliant thing.
9X says, has Ty ever just answered a question without dodging it?
Never.
It depends what it is.
It
depends what it is.
Never. Have you?
Depends what it is.
Have you?
I don't know.
See?
I saw you.
Is that dodgy for you?
I saw you doing the people. You have to watch it.
Keep, sell, or bench.
Keep, bench, sell. I'm not going to tell you the outcome.
Bench, sell.
But I'm sure you can predict by the way he carries on. How many players he sold, how many players he benched, and how many players he kept. I'm not going to reveal it.
I sold quite a lot.
Yeah, I bet you did. The
table could even hold it.
Ty would have a squad of about 100 players.
I know. Really? I'm telling you.
No, you never get rid of anyone.
Cano, Vieira would still be playing right now. Will Tour, the whole of them still playing.
They are invincible. And by the way,
but they will still be playing right now.
Well, because they're the best. Am I just saying?
You will have everybody still playing.
Well, listen.
Everybody.
They are the invincibles. They're the best. But when I said about the thing, I didn't mean no disrespect to the current team now, because some
bench should be half of the Emirates.
Well,
Emirates Stadium just sitting there. Yeah.
What I said.
And the rest.
Well, the Invincibles are
You'd have everybody.
The Invincibles are the best team we have. Just like our invincible women who won 6 trophies and won the quadruple. What I would say is that it's very hard for our teams now to reach that level. That's why you've got to give our women incredible credit, because the last time we won the Champions League 2007, Women's Champions League 2007, when the legend Alex scored, that team went unbeaten and won 6 trophies. So those women now, we're saying about statues. Renee deserves a statue. Kim, Leah,
you deserve
Kyra,
a statue.
Chloe, so do you.
The amount of statues would be like, you know that place in China with the terracotta.
Madam Tussauds.
The terracotta soldiers. You know that place in China? It'd be like that.
Just
the amount of statues you're going to give up.
I'm naming the legends, but what I'm saying is, obviously, Vic Akers deserves a statue. Kelly Smith, our greatest ever player, deserves a statue. Rachel Yankee, Emma Byrne, Kira Grant, Jane Ludlow, our highest.
Which men deserve a statue? Which men deserve a statue?
But, you know, before I get to that, what I was saying is that when I said that, I didn't do no disrespect to the team when I said replace them with the Invincibles. It's just the Invincibles are the greatest. So I don't think the team now should do that, because if you look at our women that won the Champions League, they didn't think we have to reach that level. You make your own history, and that's what this team must do. The Invincibles are the greatest, and so are the quadruple team. If you're talking about the men that haven't got a statue from the Invincibles, then out of the Invincibles, it'd have to be Patrick, because he's our captain.
Just him alone?
Okay.
No.
Anybody else?
Statue. No, all the rest. But he would be the big one. Captain.
Anyway, we're coming towards the end of the show today. I'm really intrigued, actually, Ty, because I know you you live and breathe football.
Football? Well, I try. What you mean, our club?
And under 21s, under
Try to, yeah.
Reserves. What do you do now? What do you do now this summer?
Listen,
football.
The thing is, Robbie, listen. Respect to you, because, I've got to mention something. Respect to you, Robbie, because, listen, you've created a thing. And listen, big up the fans.
The man asks you a question,
well, somebody said dodging it, so I'm dodging it, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
What do you do now?
What do you do now?
Yeah, but wait, I'm coming.
No,
big
tell
up the fans. Big up
got 3 minutes of the show left.
What are you talking about, Yardi? I don't believe. I cannot believe what he said.
Come on, man.
What is going on there? Anyway, the fans drive. Big up. They introduced you.
Big up fans drive.
Fantastically, and what you said. So you are the credible.
Thank you. That's cool. Now,
okay.
What do you do?
So the reason why I'm bigging you up, obviously, is because you're always busy. So you seem to forget. You ask me this every season, and I always say to you, I just chill out. Once we beat Southampton,
bad man, chill out. Bad man, chill out.
Bad man, move forward. Bad man, pull up. Not that I'm a bad man in any shape or form. Well, I like to think I'm a bad man a bit in football terms, but no. What it is that I just I take my temperature down. So now I'm a football man, so I don't have to worry about anything. All I have to do.
But what do you do?
Relax.
What do you do?
Just relax.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
relax.
He goes and watch back some old matches.
Yeah, I will watch highlights.
He goes and watch other football programs are available. He goes and watch back all the Premier League seasons to refresh his memory of everything.
When we won trophies.
See, I'm telling you, this is what he does. He goes back and watch all of it.
How can I explain? I just make sure. I just chill out, just take everything easy and not think about anything about football. All the football thing is gone out of my head for now.
Let's go on holiday, Ty. Let's go on holiday.
Last super chat here from Gunnar. He says, would you take Fabregas if Arteta fails again? Fabregas been doing really well for Como.
He has been doing really well.
Italy.
Nah.
I don't know. I said
after Arteta, if
I don't think he
Arteta
won't fail. He won't fail.
As I said, if Arteta does not deliver next season,
he will deliver with the team.
I hope he does. I really want him to, but if he doesn't deliver next season, our next manager that comes in, I want somebody of a high level that has gone to clubs and proven they can win stuff with clubs.
Luis Enrique would be a shot.
Right.
Well, anyway, we've reached it.
Sorry, Bobby.
And after all that talking, you got more things there.
No, because I said that. I want to say thank you to Yuxi Kitchen because they hooked us up on Saturday. Yeah.
Wait, hold on a minute. It's show sponsored by Boohoo Man.
Yeah, Boohoo Man.
Right, you know what I mean? The Boohoo Man, right, who's provided all the enclosures and that. Where this kitchen place
I know who you are. And they said that whenever you come down, you are welcome to VIP treatment.
So you get free food.
So you got a load of free food there, obviously, innit?
Yeah, well, basically what I did...
And come in on a show that is sponsored by Boohoo Man now, you come in and mention some little chicken shop.
No, they know who you are. They know who you are. Because basically what it was, you know what it was? I'll tell you what it was. After, when we were lucky enough to Unity Cup, we went to the hotel where all the players are. Our Nigeria players.
Where's this chicken shop?
You start them?
No. I saw them think, where's what?
So where is the shop?
Oh, he's somewhere in, I think, Hayes or somewhere. But they know who you were.
So you went all the way to Hayes?
Yeah, to see our players.
What did you eat?
How did you get there? How did you get there?
Well, I can't even say what I ate, but I had a bit. So
you had everything. How did you get there?
Oh, my friend drove us.
How did you know the African team was there, the Nigerian team was there?
It's my friend that told me.
So you went and stalked the players?
No, after the game now. Basically what happened was...
This is the guy who said he switches off from football.
No, but this is the Unity Cup. This is
driving behind that's the Nigerian coach. Follow them! Step on it!
This is friendly.
You know like in movie and the man jump in a taxi and say, follow that car!
We saw the Jamaica players. The Jamaica players was cool. So basically, when I come out, I saw my friend and he said, have you seen... I won't mention his name. And I said, no. And then when I saw him now, he said, do you want to go to the hotel? I said, yeah. So we saw
hotel?
The players. Sorry. What did you say? What's going on there?
A man say, you want to go hotel?
Yeah, what? I think it's time to end it.
To see the players.
End it there, right?
To see the players. Don't try it. Okay.
So thank you. Don't forget the show.
Thank you very much.
Big up to Boohoo Man. Right.
Ridiculous. Congratulations for the Super Eagles.
AFTV 10.
I don't know what he's talking about.
To get all
after the show, it's after party.
You said,
we're leaving it there.
Katie's drunk.
People
I think Yanni's
cut.
Peace.